Chris, Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 here to preview Texas A&M's opener. That will be New Mexico, Saturday, September 2nd, 6 Central. You can catch that game on ESPN. The Aggies are currently 38.5-point favorites with an over-under of 49. That makes for a predicted line of A&M 44, New Mexico 5. I'm very interested to see if New Mexico can hit 5 on the dot there. Could happen given some of the offensive stats I'm going to throw at you in a minute. All right, Texas A&M, we know that drama. No need to rehash that there. New Mexico lost its last 9 games last year to end a 2-10 season. Only one of those was by single digit. That's a 9-point loss to UNLV. The Lobos expected to be a bottom 5 team in the FBS. Blake, this one's not setting up very pretty for the visitors.
It doesn't seem that way. We preview every SEC game. We try to, and we're trying to just sort of give you information. That's what these kind of come down to. We'll obviously make our picks, and I think you know what our pick's going to be in this game. But these will get more interesting as we get into SEC play. But yeah, I mean, it's what do you say? I mean, New Mexico has been a team that just has not had a lot of success in recent years, and that is putting it very lightly. And I mean, what it just they just haven't. Let's just call it what it is. So 3-9 last season, 2-5, 2-10, 3-9, 3-9. That's the last 5 seasons for them. And so they're going to try to take a step forward this season. Going to be hard to do in game 1 against Texas A&M, as we know. The Aggies have all the talent in the world. Disappointing season a year ago, but I think they're ready to kind of get back on the revenge tour here, getting some guys back healthy, some key players. And I think this team, and I mean, really, I think this team can certainly challenge for the SEC West title at this point when you just look at the talent for Texas A&M. So makes it a challenging start, I think, for the Lobos there.
The numbers for New Mexico a year ago were so ugly. You can hear it hurting poor
happy.
Oreo's ears in the other room. This is going to be painful to hear, and he knows it. New Mexico last year averaged 13.1 points a game. The A&M defense gave up 21.2. New Mexico turned it over on 2% of the snaps. A&M forced turnovers 1.9% of the time. Some of these numbers, I almost have to go back and check my math to make sure they're right. They're so bad. New Mexico averaged 4.4 yards per running play. I've seen worse. Per passing play, 3.4 yards per passing play, adjusting for sacks. How is that even possible? A&M gave up 5.1 each time. I'm going to hit the mute and let you talk so people don't have to hear that in the background, but they were ugly all the way around here.
Wasn't good on offense. Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. They only threw 3 touchdown passes all season. I mean, how many times have we seen that before? It just wasn't good. I mean, we don't have to. New Mexico fans know that. Last in total offense. Scoring pretty much close to last. I mean, haven't scored a lot of points. So let's call it what it is. And now you've got Brian Benton coming in, who was at UAB, and he's going to try to sort of revamp the offense.
His quarterback.
He brings Dylan Hopkins with him. So that is at least some familiarity. And I have to think they're going to certainly eclipse that touchdown number from a passing standpoint because, Dylan Hopkins is someone who did a lot of good things at UAB. So, their offense is going to be better. But like you said, it's kind of where the starting point is. They got a lot of transfers coming in. Wide receiver, specifically, I think they've got a whole group of guys coming in to try to really revamp things there. And so, I mean, look, we could just sit here and harp on how bad they were, but they're going to be better. New Mexico is offensively. Are they going to be good enough to challenge the Texas A&M? It's going to be tough, but they're going to be better, and they just need to give Dylan Hopkins room to do his thing, and that'll really help them. But yeah, they're starting from a point that just was not very good last season. So.
Well, and for A&M's defense, look, this defense is loaded with studs in the trenches. I don't know how many 4- and 5-star players they've got, but it's a hole too deep of them. Secondary is terrific. A year ago, they returned some experience there. This is going to be a very, very good defense, I think. Okay, for A&M, when it's got the ball, of course, the debut of offensive coordinator Bobby Petrino is for New Mexico. It lost its defensive coordinator, Rocky Long, and also its top 7 tacklers, including a safety to the NFL. Probably not the way you want to do an opener against Texas A&M. The numbers a year ago, A&M scored 22.8 points per game. New Mexico gave up 26. Turnover percentage. A&M turned it over 2.2% of the time. New Mexico forced turnovers 2.3% of the time. Yards per run, running play. A&M averaged 5.4. New Mexico gave up 4.7 per pass. A&M averaged 6 yards a throw even. New Mexico gave up 6.6. I think the question here is just how much does A&M want to open it up in week one and show and prove a point, not prove a point. You pick your narrative here, but I think it's probably going to be a mismatch on this side of the ball too.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if you look at the numbers last year, A&M was 100th nationally in scoring, but that's just going to change completely. I mean, I would just be stunned if they're not jumping up significantly, possibly into one of the better offenses in the SEC when you really just think about all the weapons that they have. And, Connor Wegman now another kind of, year of experience under his belt now comes out with Bobby Petrino, pulling the strings there. You look at just kind of what they have at running back, obviously the wide receiver group, right? I mean, just look at all the options at wide receiver. And I think, like you said, this is probably more of a matter of what are they going to show specifically? Are they going to keep it simple? They're obviously going to hold some things back. But, especially heading into game 2, right at Miami. So I think, yeah, that's what it comes down to. But if you're talking just pure talent, there is so much on this Texas A&M offense, and I think that's what makes it exciting if you're a fan of the Aggies, because you just see the potential. You see what this team can be now offensively with Bobby Petrino there and just all the weapons at his disposal. And so, yeah, I mean, these offensive numbers from last season for Texas A&M are going to take a huge jump. And I think, like you said, for a New Mexico team, just kind of studying them a little bit. I mean, they are just completely rebuilding the defense here. And, it's kind of the same on offense too, like we said, but I think they've gotten it. At least it looks like they're probably more proven guys they brought in via the transfer portal, probably more so on the offensive side than the defensive side right now. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a challenge for the Lobos here to slow down what should be one of the, if not perhaps the most improved offense in college football this season.
Yeah, the line again, 38.5 as we do this on the morning of Wednesday, August the 9th. FPI, there's a big difference between FPI and SP Plus this year. FPI has got A&M by 31. SP Plus has got A&M by 46. I think the interesting thing is going to be see the over-under. I don't know that New Mexico will score, and I think A&M could put up 50 plus potentially, but does it want to? I have no idea. I mean, A&M is going to win this one in a runaway. Other than that, I don't have a good feel.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're not professional bettors. We always say it's we'll have someone coming on to do more betting type stuff here soon, but obviously picking A&M to win, I don't. I mean, look, the spread's what, Chris? You say 38, something like that. I mean, I just think A&M it's probably one of those games where if they get rolling, look out, they could put up a lot of points here. And yeah, so that's probably a challenge. And like you said, I do think New Mexico is going to be better on offense, but again, it's putting it in comparison to where they were. So a lot still to prove there for them. So yeah, I think A&M wins big. That's the prediction here.
We're previewing every single SEC game of the football season. Best way to catch those, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, please. That also helps our analytics. For Blake Lovell, I'm Chris Lee. We're Southeastern 14. We'll see you again soon with more SEC football content.